Good morning. Welcome to Rev K Raw. Today's topic, being with disappointment. You know, we all have times and situations that come up in our lives where they don't turn out the way we think we're going to, and we experience disappointment. So how do we be with it when that happens? I know recently I had that experience where something that I had hoped for didn't turn out the way that I thought it would, and I really did. I felt deeply disappointed. And I think that the degree of disappointment that we feel and the way that we respond to it will vary depending on our type of personality or how invested we were in the outcome. Regardless of that, it's natural to feel disappointment when things don't happen the way that we think they're going to. So, like I said, how do we be with that? Well, I know the first piece of it is to really experience authentically how I'm feeling and to allow the emotion that goes along with that to rise. Let it be what it is. I have to tell you truthfully that I spent half a day in bed with the covers pulled over my head and just my nose sticking out so I could breathe the fresh air of the room. As a way of first response of dealing with my sense of disappointment. But from there, we get to really be with our authentic experience. And that's what I think is important, is to feel the feelings. Now, what gets us in trouble is if we spend too much time with the what ifs or the why not, or some people ask the how come. I don't know that that can be particularly helpful unless it really helps us get a different perspective of what was of value in the experience for us to learn. Otherwise, it's just an exercise in futility to go down that road of the what if. And out of that, actually, it takes us away from the authentic experience of the emotion of our feelings and takes us into our head and analyzing things. So only to the degree where it can be helpful in terms of gaining some value from the situation and learning more about ourselves as to how we respond to disappointment, how we're being with it. I think that asking those kinds of questions are generally not helpful for any extended period of time. What can be helpful is, what is of value here for me to take away from this experience? What is of value here for me to know about myself in terms of how I respond to disappointment? Then, when we have the opportunity to really be in and experience our feelings, what I suggest and what I'm doing even for myself in moving through this experience and being with disappointment is opening up to what is the generative opportunity that's in front of me. And when I say generative, I'm talking about what is juicy and alive and is engaging my creativity in this moment, that there's space there for something new to come into play. And what I'm finding for myself is that an area that I have a great passion and interest around, an opportunity seemingly unsolicited, has appeared for me to actually volunteer and participate in an event that's coming up. So this is what I mean about this generative kind of space. And then what happens is that it moves me through this disappointment and helps me once again see that, yes, there is something that I am being called to do that I can step into that engages me in this creative energy. And so that's what I encourage you to do today. If you are experiencing disappointment about some circumstance or situation in your life, allow for your authentic feelings. Certainly make the inquiry as to whether there is something of value that you can receive from the experience. And then, as soon as you are able, with gentleness, with compassion, and with love, open up to that generative space, that creative energy that is within you, and simply look at the landscape around you and see what is presenting itself for you to step into and to really engage the fullness of who you are. Namaste.